It's nothing less than extraordinary to watch black Americans come forward and throw off the shackles and chains of the Democratic Party that has sought to enslave them and has successfully enslaved many of them for a very long time. You've got Candace Owens came out. She was on InfoWars recently, actually the day after I appeared there. And Candace Owens, is the one that Kanye West has been citing and saying, look, we don't have to agree to be enslaved. We need to rise above this victimology and become our own successful men and women who are African Americans. Candace Owens has had that message for a very long time, and she's been getting a tremendous amount of traction. And of course, she, being a black American who talks about freedom, freedom to think, freedom to speak, freedom to succeed, she is, of course, censored and attacked and slandered and defamed, as all conservatives are in America, because, of course, the radical left is utterly intolerant of any opinions they don't already agree with, and they hate black people who escaped their plantation. I mean, seriously. I think I'm going to do a video blog called How Black People Are Enslaved by White Democrats, and really just go through this dynamic that's going on where white Democrats want black people to be victims. They want to keep them down. They think of them as a subclass of humans. It's sickening the way white Democrats think about black people. And yet then you have conservatives and libertarians that are like, hey, we like everybody to succeed. We like people. We want to encourage people. We want to see examples everywhere across every race and religion and color and everything of people being successful, people running their own lives and starting their own businesses and having successes and achieving leadership and having strong families, raising well-informed, capable children who have real-world skills and aren't just these academic little geek children. A lot of white academic families like to raise these academic children that can't change a light bulb, can't change a tire as adults, but they think they know everything because they have a PhD in some narrow field that doesn't even matter to anybody. I got to tell you, more and more black Americans are waking up, and they're seeing that they've been living in a prison constructed by white Democrats. And the prison is starting to collapse. That's what's so amazing about this. It's starting to collapse, and of course then the guard keepers, the prison guards, let's say, are attacking Kanye and saying, well, he must be insane. He's talking about conservative ideas. And they even lied about him. They just utterly lied. And they falsely said that he claimed that slavery was a choice. He never said that. You can watch the video at TMZ yourself. He never said that. They've taken it out of context. They've lied about it. They've twisted it to try to make him say something that he never said. And this is only happening, of course, because Kanye has come out in favor of Trump. Anybody who supports Trump gets smeared, slandered, lied about, censored, everything by the left-wing cult, which, as I've said before, is a dangerous, mind-controlled cult of intolerance and bigotry. And you see, that's what more and more black people are waking up and realizing, that the left is a bunch of bigots. If you want real equality and equal opportunity and real success and leadership, the ability to think for yourself, you have to escape the Democrat Party. You have to go conservative or libertarian. You have to listen to people like Ron Paul or Rand Paul or President Trump, for that matter, or other members of Congress who are members of the Freedom Caucus, like Jim Jordan and so on. More African Americans are finally waking up and seeing this, and it's extraordinary. And what's so extraordinary about it is how quickly they get savaged by the left to say, oh, you're dangerous. You're not allowed to talk that way. You're black. You can't talk like that. You're black. You have to be pro-Democrat. You have to be a victimology person. You have to push victimhood. This is what Maxine Waters is out there pushing, saying, well, Kanye can't talk like that. He's talking out of turn, she said. He's talking out of turn. Wow, really? Kanye, a self-made multi-millionaire, probably a billionaire, Kanye can't speak his mind because his opinions don't agree with yours, Maxine Waters? Is that Is that because you're a bigot, Maxine? Because you're a bigot, wants to keep a black man down? Yeah, that's what it sounds like to me. Maxine Waters, an anti-black bigot that wants to keep a black man down, wants to tell Kanye, go back in your cage, N-word. You know, insert the N-word there in Maxine's mouth. Go back in your cage, N-word. That's what Maxine Waters would say. How dare you come out and think for yourself? How dare you speak for yourself? She's probably saying the same thing to Candace Owens, too. How dare you, Candace, speak intelligently and eloquently and with reason and rationality about empowering black people. How dare you? You're supposed to bow down and be a victim, and you're supposed to beg for big government and people like Joe Biden and white women like Hillary Clinton to come along and save you because she's your queen, she's your savior. Hillary Clinton is your sugar daddy, or wanted to be before she lost the election, even though she tried to steal it. I got to say, to me, this is enthralling, and a lot of people look at me as a white guy, but I'm on the record saying before that the whole distinction is silly. I'm a scientist, and I happen to know in the history of anthropology that there were only 4,000 humans alive at one time in our history. Maybe 5,000 on the high end, but about 4,000 is the accepted number. And they were all Africans. And they are our ancestors. Every one of us, you and me, every human being alive today is African, if you go back far enough in the family tree, which means every American today is African American, including you and me and everybody else. To talk about people as being black or being white or being brown or whatever, it's just silly, because we're all literally brothers and sisters from the same gene pool, the same very small pool of human survivors who were all Africans. And that's the truth. That's the scientific truth that nobody dares tell you. But by the way, I actually also happen to be Native American Indian to some degree. My relatives tell me that that's about 10%. I was going to have it tested, by the way, and then we published an article, you can read this on Natural News, that says there was an independent study of those gene testing companies, where you spit into their vial and you send them your spit vial, and then they supposedly give you back this DNA readout like, oh, you're 27% Irish, and you're 9% French and all this garbage. It turns out is totally bogus. According to the independent study, 40% of those results are false. So I don't even have faith in these consumer gene testing services. Otherwise, I'd be happy to go get a gene test to prove my Native American ancestry, but all you got to do is look at a photo that I already put out there. I think it was my great-great-grandmother. I put her photo out there. She's American Indian, you can tell. And also, I was raised to some degree, I mean, a lot of interaction with my grandmother, who's, I believe, she was 1/4, was it 1/4? Yeah, she was about 1/4 Native American Indian, I believe. I'm trying to recall correctly. Anyway, it's irrelevant. The point is, we're all African. Even Native Americans are African, by the way. So people say, oh, I'm Native American Indian. Yeah, that means you're African, because everybody came from Africa, if you go back far enough. And you know what else that means? Here's what else that means. And Candace Owens talks about this, that everybody living today in America is incredibly privileged, has incredible opportunities and incredible freedoms, regardless of your skin color. If you go back into history far enough, every one of us had ancestors who were both slaves and slave masters. That's right. That's right. You go back into history, we're all slaves and we're all slave masters. And yet none of us living today, we're not slaves today, and we're not slave masters today. So for black folks living today to walk around like they're slaves today, which is what the Democrats want to push on everybody, it's absurd. It's silly. It's total fiction. It's a mental delusion. You're not a slave. And the white people alive today aren't slave masters. Nobody living today is engaged in that in America. Now, there are certain countries like Somalia and places like that where there is modern day slavery, but I'm talking about plantation slavery in America. That's long gone, thank God. And the people living today, we're not part of it. Candace Owens is right. Everybody has the same opportunity today. It's what you make of it that counts. And the system wants black folks to be kept down. They want to keep the division. They want to keep the racism alive and well. They want to keep the bigotry and the intolerance growing, especially in the minds of leftists, white Democrats, who are the worst bigots in the world. So you want racial equality? You want racial peace? Just everyone agree to stop being victims and start taking responsibility as adults for your life and your outcome, your actions, your behavior, all of us, white, black, brown, yellow, otherwise, whatever. Stand up and be a good father. Stand up and be a good mother. Stand up for truth and reason, and take responsibility as an adult. And make something of yourself, like Kanye did, like Candace Owens did, like so many people have done. Make something of yourself. And the Democrats do not want you to do that. Oh, they don't want you to succeed. That is the worst thing they can imagine you doing, is succeeding. Drives them bonkers. Because they're the racists, and they want to keep those slave plantations of the modern day fully functioning, where you're a slave on the plantation in your own mind. You're trapped in your own mind because the white Democrats put you there. And if you agree to that system, you want to be a victim your whole life, you will be. And you'll make it real. You'll make it true in your mind. But you can escape that. And that's exactly what Kanye is talking about. And that's what Candace is talking about. You can escape it by making a choice. And you can join the rest of the world that is interested in helping people of every race and color and background become successful. Because the more successful everybody is in our world, the better world it is for all of us in which to live. That's a simple truth that no Democrat will ever utter. Check out more podcasts at healthrangerreport.com and my main website, naturalnews.com. Thank you for listening. Take care.
Learn more at healthrangerreport.com.
Thank you for watching. If you want to support our mission, visit us at healthrangerstore.com for the world's largest selection of lab-verified superfood and nutritional products for healthy living. It's at healthrangerstore.com.